Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 28th of July, comes to you from London. And mixed on the screen this morning, quite a lot of green and red, so markets just at a glance looking quite mixed. We start by looking at currencies, then global stock markets, commodities, and then last of all the energy mix. So we start by looking at the dollar index. It's been in decline the last couple of days, so just coming back to the base trend there. Nothing major to worry about, but we can see here that it's just on that trend at the moment is quite key. In the channel, jumped and rising, that's still pretty bullish, hitting the resistance of the previous level that we saw back at the end of March, beginning of April. So no surprise that we're hitting some resistance there. If we break that level, that would give us the higher low and then the higher high, and maybe the beginning of something pushing back towards the top of the range. We are in a fairly long-term sideways market with a cycle going on, but for the moment, we on the short-term chart we are bearish below the cloud. This is my weekly, daily, and 60-minute chart. Long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market with the corresponding point and figure target. So that's the picture on the dollar. That means that the euro is actually looking a little bit stronger this last couple of days against that dollar weakness, but the reality is we are bearish on the medium-term chart, and conversely here we would see a lower high, potentially a lower low. That would be bad for the euro. We have got some conflicting targets, so that's one to watch. Looking at sterling, we're sitting at 138.70, having increased in strength in recent days. Here we see that bounce off the low, so short-term bullish. The medium-term chart has dipped into bearish territory, but looks like we're back pushing higher again. Taking a look at euro sterling, where it's 117.44, that's actually the highest level we've seen since April, and so we're pushing just higher here. And if we nudge above that, then we will start to see 12-month highs. So that's looking good for the UK currency. Bitcoin is sitting at just under $39,500, holding its short-term trend for the week, so looking better there. The S&P 500 index was down 0.47%, and the Nasdaq actually also just fell away yesterday, but recovered a bit of that ground. Very strong results out from the tech majors overnight, so should be interesting to see how that affects the Nasdaq. We're seeing the futures on the S&P up 0.1%, the Nasdaq future up just over 0.25%, so it looks like we will open slightly higher today on the market. The VIX volatility is lower, helped by those tech results. And if we look at the UK market, then the FTSE future is up 0.25%, the DAX in Germany up 0.16%, and the CAC Courant up 0.5%. Taking a look at Tokyo, we were down nearly 1%. The Hang Seng recovering some of its falls this week, up 1.5%, but has really fallen away. And interestingly, China has really had a very bad week as well. Potential head and shoulders there in the Chinese market. If we look there, you can see there we've just got the shoulder and the head. Not that clear, showing up a little bit more clear on the lagging line. There's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder maybe. But the interesting thing is we are falling away, and we've got downside potential, a further 3%. If we make new lows, then that activates a downside target of 16. We are still 16%, but we are still bullish on the long-term chart for the moment. The Sensex in India down 1/3%, and the Aussie market down 0.7%. So just really flatlining the last several weeks. We'll take a look at the energy mix in a minute, but just looking at some of the soft commodities, coffee up 1%, sugar down 0.5%, wheat up 1.3%, so looking like it's going through a little bit of a recovery there, and corn down 1/3%, so it's still having fallen away from the highs that we've seen recently. Gold just nudging the 1800 level, so really just in the doldrums at the moment, sideways movement there, but holding on to the longer term trend. Silver below the 25 level, so that big fall yesterday, not great news for silver. All eyes still waiting for this break of $30. Platinum and palladium were up, and if we look at copper, up 0.6%. It continues in its strong uptrend. We're seeing 10-year yields on the bond markets just sitting in the mid-120s. And if we take a quick look at the tech majors, we've got Apple looking amazing. Their profits doubling yesterday. Amazon chart here breaking to new highs as well. Continuation move higher. Alphabet had good results out as well, of course, Google. And if we look at Microsoft, also just edging higher all the time, so looking quite strong there as well. Taking a look at the energy mix now, we've got Brent Crude up 0.5% this morning. This is my daily and my week 60-minute chart, so long, medium term and short term. Daily, 60-minute and the 1-minute chart. This is very short term. The 1-minute data giving us upside targets. So it looks like crude will push higher. If we break the 75 level, then at 78.65 is the level we expect to see. So that would be a new high for crude. And of course, we will get a target off this thrust as well. Nat gas has fallen back in the US, so we are seeing just a move down on the shorter term chart, coming back to within trend. We had this target given yesterday at 0.75%, and that's roughly where we've come back to. So at the 386, and we're sitting at 388, and that target was given at 408. So you really can't ignore these targets when you see them, and we're just gunning for this 385 level at the moment. Coal edging higher, $95. We're seeing again lots of targets here, 99.10, 99.40 for coal, 97.99 again. Emissions have recovered this week, so we're looking a little bit better there. We've got some small upside targets. We've wandered back into bullish territory. We were neutral for emissions this week. It was just a very hard call with conflicting targets. And if we look at the UK future for emissions, we're starting to get some interesting data on that now. Obviously, it's only a couple of months old, but we're starting to see downside targets still ruling on the 60-minute chart. We do have a mixture of targets on the 1 minute, and we are below the cloud, so not looking quite as good. MBP up 2% this morning on UK gas, looking stronger there, breaking to a new high. That's really what we predicted for the week. And Nat gas also, TTF also breaking to new highs, again what we predicted. Looking at German power, that's looking much stronger now, having risen, not yet making new highs like gas, but we do have upside targets here, 76.40, 76.20 on the short-term chart. Watch these targets on your OTC data on Trayport, really very important just to keep monitoring those. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.